clerk will report by title.
A bill to provide for the exchange of federal land and non-federal land in the state of Alaska for the construction of a road between King Cove and Cold Bay.
Pursuant to the rule, the bill is considered read the first time. The gentleman from Utah, Mr. Bishop, and the gentleman from Arizona, Mr. Grijalva, will each control 30 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Utah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As we begin this bill, which is totally logical, I'd like to yield 5 minutes to the author of the bill, the only representative Alaska has here on this floor, and someone who understands this issue because he's been dealing with it for a number of years, Mr. Young. 5 minutes.
The gentleman from Alaska is recognized.
I ask unanimous consent to provide and extend.
Without objection.
Mr. Speaker and members of the committee, the whole House, this is an issue that should have been settled a long time ago. In 2009, this Congress passed a land exchange piece of legislation very similar to this, and we made one mistake. We did put into it the ability to have the Fish and Wildlife make recommendations, and even then the recommendations were on the positive side. And the last administration decided under the Secretary of Interior not to build an 11-mile road to save my constituents, the Aleut people from King Cove, in favor of a goose. And people that live in King Cove weren't really considered. Now, this is a road that's 11 miles long that goes basically not through the Eisenbeck Refuge, but through some of the just along the edge. And the argument you will hear is that they will disturb the geese, the goose. You will hear that it disturbs the eelgrass that the goose and the loons live on. The road will bother them. It's ironic, the refuge itself, which this refuge is not a new area, it's been inhabited by man, frankly, in the last generation. And they built about 70 miles of road to supply a military base called Cold Bay, which is the airport. We're trying to seek this road to connect it with King Cove. And they actually take tourists that live in Cold Bay and take the bus and go out the same road, not the one we want to build, but a road right next to the so-called lagoon in the eelgrass for the tourists. And for some reason, tourists don't bother geese. That's what I can't quite understand, but it's all right for them to do that, but not allow the people of King Cove to save their lives. Since the refusal to build this road, 19 people, my constituents, Aleut people from King Cove, have died because they could not be evacuated to the airport. They could fly them out. Now, some people will say, well, they got an airport. Yes, you try 1,600 feet, winds are blowing 90 miles an hour, you try to get off. Or put yourselves on a boat and go across in 30-foot waves. And you will hear, well, we built them and they got a hovercraft. They never wanted it. They knew it wouldn't work. The Clinton administration said, oh, this is our solution and it's better than a road. It would disturb the geese. So they accepted the use of, and it did fail. And when it did fail, if the people in the back of the room be quiet, I'd appreciate it. That's one way to get it done. If the hovercraft does not work, and yet we'll have an amendment later on, the area that did not ask for it is going to be requested to pay the money back. I didn't hear anybody, by the way, say that because the levy failed and we put money into it, they had to pay the money back. So let's really consider what we're talking about here. We're talking about 11 miles, single lane, gravel-covered road to provide access to Cold Bay for people in the community who do not have access to hospitals, which is 600 miles away in Anchorage. We had one lady evacuated at a cost of $250,000 by the Coast Guard. The helicopter crashed, and she lost her life. We had two other elders that went across with a boat, a crab boat. They had to put the people into a crab pot because there was no way to get to this airport. So, Mr. Chairman, I'm suggesting to my fellow colleagues that let's do what's right. This does no harm to the refuge. In fact, saves lives, gives them an opportunity to take and experience the medical care that all the rest of us have. Let's do the right thing today. Let's not be caught into special interests say it's going to hurt the refuge. I know many even got phone calls. Oh, this is going to be terrible. Truth of the matter is it's not terrible. It's the right thing to do. So I'm asking my colleagues, let's vote yes on this bill. Let's vote no on the amendments. Let's do what's right today in the House of Representatives. And I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. The gentleman from Arizona is recognized.